Welcome to Extender Home, Sydney's leading designers and builders of home extensions.
Well, Extender Home was established in 1991. We're specialist designers in first floor additions. We take care of all concepts from the initial design, council application, construction. We approximately do about 35 to 40 jobs a year.
At Extender Home, we'll help you turn your dream for a home extension into a brilliant reality. And you'll be amazed at how easy the whole process can be.
I think that the most important thing and the reason why we used Extender Home is because of the all-through integrated approach. Their own architect, their own gentleman who deals with the council and so on and so forth. So you don't have to do anything yourself, you just let Extender Home get on with it, which they did.
We'll take care of everything, from initial design to construction, even council approval.
We carry through the process right from the very first design right through construction. We put the plans in. We give the people peace of mind. They don't really have to have any dramas or any worries because we look after the whole process right through.
In all our years of experience, we've learned that our clients' major concern is not just a good result, but also a design and building process that's worry-free. That's why we've created the Smooth Sailing Building System. It makes building your home extension as easy and efficient as possible, where everything is done properly and on time.
Yeah, and turn the drawing into actual bricks, mortar, timber. Make sure it's built as per the Australian standards and make sure it's finished properly. I expect a high level of quality from all the trades. Yeah, they call me a fussy bugger, but I think it's in the long run it's important for the clients and for everything generally.
We'll also keep you informed every step of the way.
I found all the tradespeople very friendly, very competent. They were respectful of the fact that we were living in the house at the time, so they would always, ring when they arrived and just let us know what they were going to be doing. They cleaned up every day, and there was very little mess around, and it all seemed to go quite smoothly.
Tradesmen were first class. They were very professional in their approach. They certainly cleaned up after themselves all the way through. They talked us through what they were doing. They were quite happy to include us and let us know where they were up to and where the project was up to. And overall, without exception, they were very good, very capable tradesmen.
What's the client's needs? Then we can come up with a concept and a price accordingly. The second process that I think is very important is what we developed is what we call the Smooth Sailing Building System, which is a booklet that we developed, and it answers a lot of questions that majority of clients would ask, like, will I have to move out? What disruptions will I have? What's the process? I think it's reassuring for the client from a builder's point of view, so they know what's exactly going to happen throughout the process.
It's due to our experience that we can offer the Smooth Sailing Building System and why it works so well.
Why most clients would come to us and look to do a first floor addition is they've increased their family size. The block size may not accommodate a ground floor extension. They need more space, and a lot of times the easiest way to do more space is to put a first floor addition on.
Sometimes it's hard to know whether to move into a bigger home or to extend your present home.
Yeah, from our reports, if someone decided to sell and move into another home, where you'd be looking around about anywhere between $50,000 to $70,000 to accomplish that. That's made up of agents' fees, stamp duty, which would be a greater proportion, especially after the last price rise in the houses in the inner city of Sydney, and you've got solicitors' fees, removals costs.
If you're facing this kind of dilemma, you've come to the right place. The thing to do is to meet Extender Home's design consultants so they can give you a proper idea of what's achievable and how much it will cost.
Getting that concept and fine-tuning it to exactly what the client wants. And that entails coming here and seeing myself in the office, and we'll then go through what we call our selection schedule. And there's a list of points which goes through all the fittings and fixtures and colours and things like that, so we can incorporate exactly what the client wants in the finished product.
We'll give you straightforward advice so you can make a decision based on the facts.
we thought we'd bought a big house, but actually with 3 kids, you run out of space very quickly, and it was a decision: do we move or should we extend? And we like where we are, so we decided to put another story on.
We were looking to add some more space to the property, and we had considered moving, and then we got Extender Home in and looked at the options of extending upwards and putting a second story on. We've got a small family who are growing, and we wanted to put a couple more rooms, give them each a bedroom, and provide a rumpus room and a play area for the kids.
Experience tells us that most people find it cheaper and more convenient to extend, and it may be the same for you.
Yeah, surprisingly, most clients don't want to move. They're established well with the neighbours, the children are established well in schools or sporting activities. It's close to either the parents' work, either mum or dad. If they do move from a lot of the locations that we do work in, let's say they move out to the northwest sector, you're adding another hour's travel each way, morning and afternoon, which is an added cost, which is an added burden.
Industry awards are a recognition of the expertise and creativity of builders and the quality of the work they do. It's also another way for customers to evaluate the reputation of a building company. That's why we're pleased to say we've won many awards in our time.
We were fortunate enough in the year 2002 to win the Housing Industry Association's award for first floor additions under $120,000. Throughout a lot of years, we've been finalists in a lot of categories. And same with MBA, Master Builders Association. We've been finalists in those awards many times. And they're great achievements, not just for myself, but for the team and the clients.
For many, the family home is the most important investment they'll ever make. So if you're thinking of extending, it makes sense to have it done professionally.
When we bought the house, we had extension in mind. It was an obvious way to improve the value of the house, so we were determined to extend as soon as we bought the house. This is our second extension. The reason why we used them again, of course, was because we were pleased with the work they did for our first extension.
Extender Home have years of experience in home extensions and are a recognised leader in the field.
Not all builders are the same, even though they're categorised as builders. There's new home builders, there's addition builders, there's commercial builders, there's builders that do pergolas and decks only, garages. Making sure the person who they choose to do a first floor extension has years of experience in that field.
You wouldn't use just people out of the blue, because we all mesh together like two hands together. You know, the electrician will work alongside with the plumber, you know, the builders. If we need to put in a piece of timber, we'll do it while we're there. We won't muck around. It's just to keep the job flowing, keep the client happy.
I've been a painting contractor for Extender Home for about 15 years now. The difference between a good tradesman and an average tradesman is a good tradesman does his job the way it should be done. He doesn't cut corners. Attention to detail is very important for a good tradesman, and I find with Extender Home most of the trades they use do that.
By far more superior than just about any construction company I've seen. The I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. Nothing's left to chance. Supervisors are fantastic. If we've missed something, or we've missed something on the plan, the supervisor will pick it up and make sure that it's all installed. You know, and we do all the necessary testing and servicing.
We specialise in first floor extensions and have completed hundreds of designs from Federation to contemporary.
The design team was actually very, very good. We wanted to keep the house in keeping with the existing house and the streetscape. We're very particular about things like the windows and the architraves and all those sorts of things, and they're quite accommodating in fitting those into the plans.
Most importantly, because we listen to our clients' ideas, our extensions are not only a sound financial investment, they can also be enjoyed by the whole family every day. If you're thinking of adding an upper story to your home, it pays to use a specialist in upper story extensions. A builder who isn't a specialist may not understand all the complexities, and that could lead to all sorts of problems. For example, you may get a quote that's initially too low and then be asked to pay the extra cost later, or you may be quoted far too high because the builder isn't sure what's involved.
From my point of view as estimator, it's basically important that I be realistic when I originally quote the job. I think some builders out there probably go in a bit low, hoping to win the job, and then they pump up their price later on. We try not to do that because we want to give people a realistic view of what it's going to cost them right from the word go.
The construction may also last longer than it should, creating a major inconvenience.
The project took about 18 weeks from start to finish. I must say it came in on time, on budget, which was exactly what we were looking for. We knew how much we were going to be up for, and that's how it turned out.
The budget process is pretty accurate, and you pay by instalments as things go along. It was right on budget. It was more expensive than I expected because of the noise treatment, but that was all allowed for in the beginning, so it wasn't a surprise.
We were on budget, absolutely. If we were over budget, we were marginally, but it was all our doing, where we made some decisions to change some of the fittings and things of that nature. But in terms of the core of the project, absolutely on time and on budget.
At Extender Home, we're experts in upper storey extensions. We can accurately tell you how much it will cost and how long it will take.
We like to try and keep to a client's budget. Actually, we're probably more rigid on that than what probably the client is themselves.
We try to give the people as close as possible to a set price. We have some allowances in there for engineering and that type of thing where they have to inspect the existing building. But apart from that, we try and be pretty firm in our price so that people know what they're going to be up for right from the start, and they don't get any nasty surprises down the track.
And when it's finished, your extension will not only look good, it's guaranteed to stay that way.
Basically, the structure's warranted for life, so anything that's done has to be 110%, and it has to stand the test of time, which is, it's got to be there for hundreds of years, so that's why I look at building things.
Some people are hesitant about getting a home extension because they think they'll have to move out while the building is underway. Not with Extender Home.
We always try and work in with the owners. We always have a discussion to see which way is the best way of attacking things. Some customers do move out, but if they opt to stay, look, we work around them. Bernadette's still living here. What we did, we moved them to the front of the house, built a temporary kitchen for them. So yeah, they've been here through the whole process. Finally, we've got them upstairs, and then we can start the work that needs to be done in the front of the property.
We thought long and hard about should we or shouldn't we move out, because it's obviously a very big job, especially going upstairs. We did live in the house. We didn't feel the need to move out at any time. The nature of our renovation was that they could do a lot of the work externally first and not be too much of an imposition to the inside of the house.
We were living in the house while the renovation was being done. It was terrific that we didn't have to move out, and I guess people think that it's going to be really messy, but in fact, because they didn't come through the ceiling until about 3 or 4 weeks before completion, there was no dust, there was no mess. We were able to live in the bottom section of the house almost uninterrupted. Many times we weren't even aware that the tradespeople were on site, so it was good.
If I had to have my time over again, I'd still do the same thing. We would live there, and it wasn't a major ordeal for us.
So what sets us apart? We've been asked that question numerous of times. I believe it's our vision. At Extender Home, our vision is to be recognised as the industry leader in quality first floor additions and extensions. And also our passion, not only within our team, also our contractors, but also our clients. We receive about 80% of our work through recommendation, and I think that speaks highly of Extender Home.
We've had a number of people that walk their dogs past our house from other suburbs, and two of them have stopped and asked who did our renovation. They observed the renovation in progress, and they said, it all seemed to go quite smoothly.
I would recommend Extender Home on two counts. Firstly, and obviously they do the job well, but to me, a whole part of the issue is the fact they do a complete operation from start to finish. They do everything. They do the architect, they do the council, and the whole thing's a package, which is what I like.
Anyone considering an extension, I'd thoroughly recommend that they consider Extender Home. They're great for us, and I'm sure they'd be great for you.
I would recommend Extend a Home. In fact, I already have on several occasions. I know of one of those jobs that is actually underway at the present time, but I'd recommend them without hesitation because, frankly, an undertaking like this is made a whole lot easier if you're dealing with an organisation or a company that prides itself on its customer service and the quality of its business. And the other thing that stood out very, very clearly to me is that their reputation was number one and the most important thing from their perspective. So, yeah, to answer your question, I would without hesitation recommend Extend a Home to interested people.